How do we integrate a strong brand voice into your data stories to cut through the noise?
Good morning, guys. Hello,
Can you hear me?
Michael, Phil, Eddie. Hope I pronounced that correctly. How you all
Can
doing?
anyone hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Michael.
Good. Very important because
Yep.
I unplugged my computer and had to replug it again, and sometimes everyone disappears.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to get the tech working on a Friday morning, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
How's everyone doing?
Yeah, good.
Nice one.
yeah.
Uh,
Busy,
where
busy.
where are you guys based? What part of the world?
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Brisbane, or Redland City's kind of
Okay,
southeastern corner of Queensland.
nice. That's a good part of the world. I own part of a property in Caboolture. Is that near there?
You're probably talking about an hour's run away.
Okay, yeah, it's a good part of the world.
So
It's a
Caboolture's,
well,
a little bit in off the coast,
mm,
kind of Bribie Island area-ish,
there's lots
a
of
little bit further south, but
There's lots happening in that area leading up to the Olympics, isn't there? Like infrastructure, hospitals, train stations, everything's going crazy.
yeah, we'll have, I think realestate.com.au put out a little uh, memo, I guess, or a minor report saying that they expect property prices to double in our area for
Yeah,
2032.
yeah,
So
that's what.
my current place is worth about 1.2. So
Mm.
I don't think it'll get to 2.4, but who
You can
knows?
only hope. You can only hope, mate. I mean, that's why I bought up there. I got a few colleagues up there. I'm a part of a fund, a property fund, AI optimized property fund, and we've bought I think about four houses already. And the idea is just to keep buying them and just watch that double growth happen and then sell 2030 or something, 2031.
Yeah, well, look, the it'll be interesting to see what does happen. I
Mm,
don't think it'll get to double the growth. I think that's probably a a bit of a reach, but I do think there will be some significant growth in the next sort of what are we talking 6 years?
yeah,
So yeah, look, definitely significant growth at the moment. In the last month, anybody who's attached to real estate up here has just seen it cool off a little bit. In the last 3 weeks to
yeah.
a month, there was that little bit of a gut feel that this could be. And I've even had one real estate agent tell me that that the buyers have dropped off so much
Mm,
that the open homes, the buyer traffic through open homes is, yeah, it's just not there.
mm,
So it's, yeah, a little bit interesting. And she is one of the more popular agents. She sells
yeah.
probably 130, 150 properties a year. So
Wow.
she's going gangbusters. And when her 422s are dropping off
Mm,
in in kind of, I guess you like popularity, but not really from the sense of that, it's just buyer traffic. That some of them just don't have the cash.
yeah,
I think the banks obviously have a tolerance level, and once you
yeah.
get beyond that tolerance level,
Mm,
they'll say, "Sorry, you can't have the extra 200K that
yeah.
you need to buy that property," and so they come down a bracket, don't they?
Mm.
So it's, yeah, interesting little scenario at the moment.
I
So
kind of feel it's the same in Sydney, talking to people. The market's a little bit dubious. Obviously, the war and the fuel prices and the fact that interest rates
rates have
looks
gone
like it
up
might
again.
might go up again.
Yep, and then there's the budget as well, which
Mm,
people shouldn't really be too concerned about, but come tax time and come uh, election time, everybody goes, "Oh, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?" And all of a sudden, they just stop spending,
yeah.
and it's one of those things where it probably doesn't have that much of an effect on the business, but
Mm,
certainly real estate. One of the bigger plays is what's going to happen with CGT in the next budget, and look, it's been everybody I think is pretty on the same page with the fact that the budget's been mismanaged for the last 5 years that Labor have been in power. So now he's trying to go for a cash grab of $22 billion. And the trouble with that is it only intensifies the housing crisis.
That's it.
Not because the investors who are the ones with the money step out of the market, because some of them will. They'll go, oh, heck no, I don't want the government taking another 25%. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
And how are you, Michael? On is it 80 or 80? How do I pronounce that?
80.
80. How are you guys finding it in Melbourne? Is it a similar story there?
No, Melbourne's been okay. Look, I mainly do rentals, and then just started working with Guy to do the house and land packages. So I don't do a lot of sales anymore. I used to do more, but I only do a little bit. But we've had interest depending on the price point, you know.
Okay. And what about you, Michael? How are you finding it? Things changing?
Yeah, look, it's nothing really changed. I think people get too carried away, to be honest with you. Everyone jumps at shadows and changes and whatever else. In fact, actually, Phil, I was actually researching, which I've just finished with my good friend ChatGPT.
He's my good friend. He's my good friend. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, he's my obviously my adopted brother. But using that and Perplexity, I was actually researching an article about this whole issue around CGT and whatever. And it's really interesting, actually, because if you look at the graphs, housing prices take off precisely when CGT came in. It's like there's a trend that shows everything's in line.
Yep.
CGT comes in, and all of a sudden the one graph goes up and the other one just keeps. So there's actually, and they were supporting it by saying, well, there's actually been a 19% growth in supply and only a 16% increase in demand. So nationally, there's not there might be in certain target markets, but the statistics show that nationally there's been more supply than there has been in that time period than demand. So it's kind of interesting how the market and how everyone reacts. And Adi, you're in Melbourne, but they talk a lot about the Victorian land tax, and they actually said, well, it's a small example, but rents here have actually haven't skyrocketed since the land tax, which everyone talks about. Oh, when you do this, you're going to get a skyrocketing rent because there's less demand. And it said, well, actually that hasn't actually happened. It's not, and housing prices are actually settling down. So we're actually probably not getting the growth, but then that's allowing more people into the market because there's not the growth. So it's kind of there's a lot of things at play that don't come out in the media, and you've sometimes got to sit back a little bit and say, well, what's actually really going on here? So
the tricky part up here in Brisbane at the moment is that, and I think that one of the reasons why supply has increased, like I work 2 days a week at a real estate, and we went from 5 listings to 18 and more coming on the board in about 3 weeks. Now, the reason for that, I think, is because sellers, when they prepare to sell, it's not just, most cases are not just, let's sell now, done deal, great. It takes time for them to get into a place where they can sell, and a lot of the time that can be 1 to 3 months, can be even more. And so because this has come on really quickly, people are still going, well, we have to sell. We've already set our life in order after the sale of this house. So we now have to sell in perhaps what is a cooling market. And obviously expectation levels of sellers have, with regards to price, have now had to backpedal a little bit. And so with that has come a bit more of a supply increase. But I think if you look at it from a holistic perspective across Australia, the supply hasn't increased that much to drive prices down, like, and when I say down, the real estate market is always going to keep climbing. It's just a case of at what intensity. And the problem is obviously it's been going at a rapid rate of knots very quickly upward on a very steep slope. And now we're just starting to see it, instead of going like this, we're starting to see it just come like this a little bit. So the prices are still going to increase, but I don't think from a buyer's agent perspective and clients and budgets, it hasn't dropped off enough in the last month to see people be able to step into the market confidently, knowing that they can get what they're needing for their budget. And it's going to take some time for that to adjust. My kind of feeling on the CGT is that if they do halve it and they go to 25%, or they go to a really heavy cut, that what will happen is investors will either hold for a longer period and hope that the next government that comes in will change things so that they can, increase their capital growth on the end of it when they do want to sell, or they'll just step straight out of the market with what potentially could be a grandfathering. So what they'll do is they'll increase, they'll bring it in just in smaller sections. So over a period of time, so investors will have a chance to get out. But I don't know whether, if investors choose to get out straight away, then there'll be a lot of people who still won't be able to afford to buy a house, and the investors are the ones with cash to stump it up. So it could be an interesting scenario where rents are people who can only afford to rent will literally be without housing. So it'll be an interesting little period in the next 3 to 6 months, I think.
Yeah, interesting. Well, thanks for your input there, guys. We're waiting for the man, Guy. Guy's now arrived. Hello, Guy. How you doing, mate?
Hello. I'm sorry, I thought the meeting was later on. I was in another meeting. So
no problem. No problem.
Might be because of the time difference or something, I don't know.
Oh, that's all good. We waited for you anyway.
That's nice of you, thank you.
Chatting about the market and getting to know each other a little bit. We might as well jump into it.
I texted you.
What's that, 80?
I'm lucky I texted him.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for that. Okay, well, let's get started, guys. I'm going to reverse my screen. I've got two computers, so if I'm looking over here, I'm still in the room. When I start, I'll be looking over here, so just bear with me. Put it in the PowerPoint mode. Guy, do you want to do a little intro as to how this came about, possibly?
Yeah, Simon and I connected on LinkedIn, and Simon's a marketing expert. He's been in the industry for a long time. And I was explaining that I've got a big database now of over 600,000 people. And I said to him that my issue is that I want to reach out to that database, and I want to try and get as much business out of it as possible. And I want to recommend the leads that come from that back to the agents, the buyer's agents, and the mortgage brokers, basically. And then increase the volume of leads that we've got from the existing data, and also look at other people's databases as well and see where there might be some issues there where Simon might be able to come in and do a bit of consulting and offer a bit of advice on how to generate some more business off the back of other people's databases as well, if they've got them, So that's how it sort of came about.
Yeah, thank you for that. And thanks for everyone turning up. I'll just give you a little bit of a 2-minute summary of me. I'm a marketing guy. I've been doing it over 30 years. I'm younger than I sound and look. No, I'm not. I'm 58. I'm very old man. And I love marketing. I get passionate about it. And then, when I spoke to Guy and I was hearing about, your issues and problems, I can relate. I worked in this space before, and I thought, you know what? Why don't I provide some value? this is all about helping you guys. I'm going to take you through some slides. If you've got a kind of urgent or pointy question, just put up your hand or ask, but try and save them to the end so we can get through everything, because there's a lot to get through in a short space of time, especially because we started a bit late. Hopefully you guys don't have a hard stop at 12 and we go a little bit longer, but let's kind of see where we get to. And
Just a quick question, Simon. Can we get these slides?
100%.
Can you forward them?
No,
Sweet.
no problem. Yeah. You don't have to take
I
notes.
just don't have to take notes. It's good. Yeah.
No, I'll
Keep
email
going.
them to you. And I think Zoom will send me the details so I can email it. If not, Guy, I'm sure will give me your email addresses, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I'll do,
I'll
yeah.
have them in the system. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get
Awesome.
stuck into it. So this is all about turning leads you already have into consistent deals, a live practical workshop for brokers and agents, and it's all about fixing your follow-up, standing out, and converting more consistently. And I'm going to say something big, which is, you don't have a lead problem. You've got a conversion and a system problem, and that's what we're going to talk about. This is not a typical webinar. This is a working session. That's why I left the sound on. If you want to ask me something, let's kind of talk it through. But like I said, try and save them up to the end so we can just get questions there. But if it is sort of, you just need to get it out of your body and say, I just need to know the answer, then we'll deal with it. You'll need knowing exactly what to fix, and I'll kind of going to lift up the bonnet and try and give you a system to help you guys. It's not just about one lead here and one lead there, but it's a system. Every business needs a system, and it doesn't matter kind of what industry or what niche. And all day long, I'm talking to business owners, and it doesn't matter what's happening. They think they need new leads, but it's not really about leads. It's about what they've currently got and what to do with that. So the goal today is show where deals are being lost and how to fix it. Before we jump into it, I think there's a bit of a helicopter overview slide or scenario I want to kind of talk you through. Business owners these days, I think a lot of them still don't understand the digital ecosystem that we're playing with. I think they think that you can turn on a Google Ads campaign or manage some LinkedIn or send a couple of emails and, you've done marketing, and they start focusing on their business, their products or pricing, customer service, whatever it is. But actually these days, you've got to do it all. You've got to do brand strategy, advertising, web design, content creation, video production, landing pages, email, lead nurturing, social media, analytics, automation, SEO, and depending on your size, even PR. And you've got to do that all at once to create a consistent and cohesive journey. And I know it sounds a lot, and it is, but really, I'm not showing you this slide to scare you. What you should probably do is to pick a lane and do it well and focus on that lane, that channel. And then once that's humming, move to the next lane or the next channel and activation. And think about it like this. You want to create content all day long, and we're going to talk about content, and try and repurpose that content. Write it once, shoot it once, and then reuse it everywhere. That's probably the biggest tip of the day. So feel free to write down some of these little gold nuggets. Today's outcome, it's about the deal conversion system. We'll break down a simple system built on conversion, follow-up, and timings, trust, personal brand, and presence. People buy things from people that they like and trust. It's as simple as that. So how do we get you in a place where people are going to trust you quickly? The systemization, some of you may or may not have VAs or automation. I highly recommend it because you're just one person. You've got to get some extra arms and legs so you can focus on the things that you want to be doing. When these three work together, everything changes. And by the end, you'll know exactly what to fix first, I hope. The brutal truth. You don't have a lead problem, you have a conversion problem. Leads are already coming in, but they're not turning into consistent deals always. And the gap is costing you every week. And I would imagine, like me, is like when I put my head on my pillow, I think, what am I stressed about? Can I go to sleep straight away? And then I kind of deal with it and then kind of allow myself to go to sleep. But what we don't want is, internal chatter in the mind and the negative conversation that you have with yourself around, I'm not doing good enough from my marketing or my leads perspective. We want to fix that for you today. Your current marketing isn't broken, it's just not working. Most people are relying on generic email templates, and guys sent me a few that some of you may be using. I mean, they're pretty average. And the fact that, many of you might be signing up to the same kind of subscription or syndication service means that they're all the same. That's also probably not a good idea. Set and forget systems. Not sure that's a good idea either, but I also encourage automation and setting up things that do make sense. And while they look fine, they don't create conversations, they don't build trust, and they certainly don't convert. They do sometimes, but not as a predictable system. You want your leads turning up pre-sold. I mean, that's a big conversation. You go, what does that mean? It would be remiss of me not to show you the funnel. Okay, everyone's probably seen a marketing funnel in one way, shape, or form. And what we want is we want leads coming in the top of the funnel all day long through various activations, white papers, videos, SEO, Google Ads, whatever it is you're doing. Middle of the funnel is when you're looking at, interest and evaluation versus the competitive set that they're looking at, and case studies and drip email nurture campaigns, conversations, reminding them that you're there. That's really important for the middle of the funnel. And the bottom of the funnel is where they're literally going to go, I'm choosing you or them. And what is the pointy end? What is the offer? What is that connection that you have with them? So when I say we want your customers to come down the journey and make it feel like, I don't want to say that they're entertained, but I don't want to feel like it's a sale. Okay. I want them to feel like they're going down the journey very organic and very nicely. And they don't even feel like they're going down that sales journey leading to a conversion or getting them close to a conversion. That's the place where we want to be. So you don't need more leads. When I say that with a sneaky smile and a grain of salt, because we all need more leads. Even I need more leads, and I'm a marketing guy. Although my LinkedIn campaign's going crazy right now, I'm not sure I'd have too much time, but everyone needs more leads. But what I'm saying is you need to work with what you've got, okay? So, of course, getting leads is important, and I can help you get leads. But this is not about that. This is about fixing what you already have. You need a system that converts the ones you already have, and that's what this conversation's about. More leads without a system equals more waste. I'll say that again. More leads without a system equals more waste. Especially if you're paying for leads, referral leads or otherwise, or paid for Google Ads or whatever you're doing or not doing, you don't want to waste that money. If it's a cost per acquisition of $50 or $500, whatever the cost is for that lead, you want to make sure you get to the bottom of it and make sure you work that lead until it's no longer a lead. Better conversion equals immediate growth. So where deals are lost? Slow response, weak follow-up, there's no nurture. Nurture is a couple of things. When I call a nurture, I call it like an email nurture campaign, an automated nurture campaign. So when the lead comes through, you say, thanks for that. Here's who we are. Here's what we do. You're in the right place, not in these words. And we'll give you a call within the hour. And then you make sure you call them when that lead comes through. And that's really important because they probably filled out another 1 or 2 forms on one of your competitors. So the first thing is normally the best dress, because you need to build a connection quickly and solve their problems and find out what they're after and what they're looking for right now at this moment. So no nurture, no differentiation, and most deals are lost in the first 48 hours. That is why speed is the key to this business and any business, which leads me to this slide, speed to lead. I would say the 15-minute rule is a key. When you get a lead, you pick up the phone and you call them within 15 minutes. Now, how refreshing is that? And it does 2 things. One, it tells them how you're going to be for the rest of your life with them, which is proactive, activated on. If they're calling you, if you're calling them in 15 minutes, they're going, oh, what a refreshing conversation. You're calling me. I just filled out the form. Thanks so much for calling. And they're already kind of connected to you. But what it also does is it outsmarts us, outspends the other guys that call in a day or 3 days. No way they're getting that business. A call and an SMS is very important. Okay. First wins. Speed signals professionalism. Speed builds trust instantly, and speed beats your competition. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. This is happening across all sectors. And the reason for that is that the biggest problem people have is time. They don't have enough of it. Time is the value. And everyone's busy. Everyone's crazy. Got to drop the kids off. I got to do a project over here. I got to go over there, and there's all these emails I got to answer. And like, they have moments to spare for new conversations and to meet new people, even if they're filled in a form. So you got to give them what they want when they want it. So this is the system I'm trying to help you understand is key. Okay, don't be lazy. Don't get the lead and go, oh, call them in an hour. Call them in 15 minutes. Call them in 5 minutes. Impress them with how instantaneous you are. And there's another slide, which is all about the follow-up framework. Day one, this is a simple system. You should write this down or take note of this slide. What page number is it? 11. This is the system you should live your life through. Day one, you call and SMS them. What do I mean by that? If you miss the call, you SMS them and say, hey, this is Simon. You filled in the form at 11 o'clock. I tried to give you a buzz. I'll try and call you back later. That's amazing. Because what you've done there is you've told them that you're a real person and that you're going to call them later so they don't have to worry about trying to call you back. And you're building a rapport and creating trust even before you've spoken to them. Day two, you send them an email. Day three, you call again. Day five, you check in. Even if you've spoken to them already, you say, hey, how's that thing we discussed? Have you filled in that form yet? How's that dog, Jessie, that you told me about? Connection, emotional connection. And you probably know all of this. I'm just trying to help you, A, show you how important it is, and B, create a little system for you guys. And day 10 is nurture. Most people stop too early, okay? And I think that's the problem. They call once, they'll maybe send one email, and then they'll give up, and then they'll say that's a bad lead. It's not a bad lead. It's a good lead. You paid for that lead in some way, shape, or form. Work the lead until they say, I don't want to do business with you. Stay present, be present, create a system for you. What happens next? So the follow-up logic, the lead comes in, you call them, there's no answer, send them an SMS. Like I said, call again later, stay consistent, be consistent. Get a CRM, get a calendar automation system that says pop up and it says call Jesse at 1 o'clock and make sure you know who Jesse is and what the value is to your business. Stalled, no response, you do a live check-in, you keep it human, stay top of mind. Ask questions. They've answered the phone, have a real conversation, agree next steps, and follow the plan. Very simple. They're still engaged, progress the deal, don't interrupt momentum. It's not rocket science. And I think, like, I'm sure you guys are doing this, and I'm sure you know all this. I'm here to just be a guider or the voice of reason to help you understand that this is best practice. And I want you to hopefully learn a couple of things from this session. Following up principles. Again, this is, even if you're a child, you can do this. This is the way humans should be. Be human, ask questions, lower resistance, help, not sell. Curiosity beats pressure. Love that. Help, not sell. Curiosity beats pressure. Have a chat with them about who they are as a person. Find out what they're really after, not what you think they're talking about. You know, what does that mean to you? Ask. How does that play out? Ask. Very simple things. They'll tell you everything when you keep it real. Database reactivation. So I'm presuming everyone has a database of some sort. First thing to do is segment the database. 60 to 90-day touch points, simple check-ins. Old leads are not dead, they're just ignored. This is your lowest hanging revenue, your lowest hanging fruit. You got to think about it like this. You think, how do you make the most amount of money in the shortest space of time using the least amount of budget? I'll say it again. How do you make the most amount of money in the shortest space of time using the least amount of budget? One of your best assets is your database. Still today, big businesses, small businesses, email marketing is one of the most important things you can have as an asset, and to use that appropriately. So this is a little way in to start thinking about what value you have in your database and how to extract value. So what do I mean by segment the database? If you've got 3 different segments, you've got current customers who've just worked with you, medium customers, you know, of the last, 1 or 2 years, and on old customers. I'm just creating a very basic segmentation. What you want to be doing with your old customers from 2-3 years ago is sending them an email newsletter, reminding them, because you don't know the sales cycle. You don't know when they're ready to buy an investment property. You don't know when they're ready to buy their kids a property, or if they're ready to move. So the whole point of marketing, it doesn't matter what niche, is be constant, show up in a consistent way, and add value. Okay, so if there's something happening with the capital gains tax, create an email. Don't rely on that syndication. Create an email, segment the database, and send it to the database, and segment appropriately. So if it's a recent customer, you say, hey, hope things are going well. Here's what's happening with capital gains tax. There's some changes. If it's an older database, so we haven't spoken for a couple of years, wanted to check in how things are, how are you doing? Okay, make it personal, keep it real, make it human. Don't be a corporate. I don't want to swear, but no one wants corporate people in their life. They want human connections. Simple check-ins. This is where most people overcomplicate things. Do not create long emails or market updates or sales pitches. It's just noise. People don't have the time for it. Okay? They don't care about that stuff. They don't want to read anything more anyway. If anything, they want a video piece of content because they're reading their whole life already and they want to get away. They want to be distracted. They want to be, if they, dare I say, entertained. But do create short, human, and relevant pieces of content. Make it simple. Bite-sized content these days are really what it's all about. Value, value, value. Why emails fail? They're too generic. There's no personality. There's no call to action. It feels automated and it looks like everybody else. You know, I think about it in a way that makes it easy for me. Every time I have a marketing challenge in front of me, and I don't even care what industry it is, my job is to ask these three questions. What do we want the customer to think, feel, and do? I'll say it again. What do we want the customer to think, feel, and do? And the do bit is the call to action, okay? Do we want them to click a button to fill in a form for a calendar session with you? Or do you want them to register for a webinar or sign up to our email database or like your Instagram page? What do we want them to do? How do you want them to feel? So think about this when you're creating content, guys. It's really important. Don't just be a monkey and just, someone said I need to create content, so I'll just start creating content. When you think about content, just incredible thing I'm going to say, try and solve problems for your customers. Have a brainstorm session with you or your colleagues and write it all down. What are their frustrations? What are their challenges? What do they really want? Not what they think they want. What do they really want? What are their real problems you're solving for them? And then create content that solves those problems. Doesn't that sound like a novel idea? And then it sounds basic, but you open up Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn all day long. People are just creating garbage. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't solve a real problem. That's not connected. That's not human. You might as well just don't waste your time. Go and have a bowl of cornflakes in the kitchen instead of wasting your time because no one's going to care about that stuff. Make real content that's emotionally connected, that has a point of view, that solves your customers' problems. And then things can dynamically change in your world. Better email framework. Hook, insight, call to action. Make it about them, not you. Simple always wins. I mean, that's really cool, that one. Make it about them, not you. There's a slide at the end. Hopefully, we're going to get a chance to talk about this. And when you create content, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, create content in 3 buckets. These are the buckets. Write them down, guys. Inspire and entertain. Educate, add value. Be the authority in your industry. Rise above the competition. Only when you do those 2 jobs first can you convince me, which is the 3rd bucket, which is promote what you do or create a testimony, get a testimony from one of your clients, or I sold this property, I got this deal across the line. Most businesses focus on the convince and they wonder why no one's engaging with their content because they didn't inspire, nor did they educate and add value. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. That's a really important piece. These are 3 simple reactivation messages I want to kind of just take you through. Again, just take a photo of this because this is cool. Hi, Jesse. I don't know why I'm saying Jesse. I think because that's my nephew and I love him. Hi, Jesse. Just checking in. Not sure where things landed for you, but happy to help if you're still exploring options. Okay, it's just so simple, but still human and connected. And you're telling that person that you're still here for them, even though they might not have decided who they want to go with or what they want to do yet. Oh, just a quick one. Are you still looking at options at the moment or has it all been sorted? Either way, you want to know if you're potentially working with this person or not, or you don't want to waste any more time. You'd rather get, I've moved on or I've already done the deal, and then you don't have to contact that person anymore. Last one. Hi, Jesse. I was reviewing a few things and thought of your situation. Worth a quick chat if you're still open. Again, You don't know what's happening with this person. You don't know the sales cycle. You don't know how interrupted they've been with all the things going on in their life. This is just a little tap in the shoulder that's human connected. And they say, hey, what's up? You want to chat or not? And it's not pushy and it's not salesy. Trust is the multiplier. People buy people. Trust reduces friction. Trust increases conversion, and trust shortens sales cycle. And we've talked about connecting a lot. I talk about emotionally connecting a lot in my business, and that's what I do. I connect. I create emotional connections for my clients' brands. That's what I do. And how do you do that? Well, there's a bunch of different things. That's probably a whole nother session, but I would say be human and be yourself and be open to sharing your emotion. What I'm saying is if you're vulnerable, they'll take a step forward to you. If you're shut off and corporate or a narcissist, they're going to take a step back. Okay. I wish I could see everybody's faces when I talk about this stuff. I can't because I'm in PowerPoint mode. Why social media isn't working? Inconsistent posting, no clear message, trying to look professional instead of being real. I've been saying that all throughout the whole session. Don't try and look professional. Just keep it real. Get over yourself. Get this thing out. It's called a smartphone and get it to work. Post listings with no context. There's no connection to actual business outcomes. Most people either don't post or post things that don't actually drive conversations. I don't want to open up the conversations yet because we've got a lot to get through, but I do want to ask, can you guys relate to this? Content is not about likes. Content is about building trust and scale. It warms up your database before you speak to them. It gives people a reason to choose you, and it makes you follow up easier. It makes your follow up easier. Content makes your phone calls warmer and your emails land better. Think about it like this. I guarantee before they commit to taking a meeting with you, they've checked out your website, they've checked out your social media, and if they're on your email database, they've checked out your emails. And then they're going to say, I want to take a call with whatever your name is, or not in that moment, right? Everyone goes on their own discovery research before they commit to something. And they see how you're showing up. I promise you they do this. Think about the way you bought a car in the 80s. I'm old enough. In the 90s. You go into the dealership, you test drive three or four cars, then you make a decision. These days, you're doing online research till you're blue in the face until it's 1 a.m. I've just bought a car, so I know. And you know exactly the car you want. You know the spec. You know the extra things you want in it. And you know what the value is because you've researched across 20 other cars. And then you go for a test drive and then you make your decision. It's the same with you. They're doing all of this before they commit to taking a meeting with you. So you got to get your story right. You got to get your content out there. And it's got to be warm and connected. Content framework. Why should you actually post? Sorry, what should you actually post? I'm going crazy. The content, here's a bunch of ideas. Your take on the market, not just data. We had a chat earlier before the session started. There's some valuable things there. Bring that to life. Write a blog post. Get your video out. Take a video of it. Common mistakes you see. Client scenarios, their real stories, their wins. Case studies, even better. If you can shoot some of your your clients, and if they allow you to do that, that's win. That's a win because people follow other people. Fortunately, humans have a herd mentality. This is why Google reviews are so important, right? Because they follow other people. They're lazy. They don't want to do the work. So case studies all day long. Simple tips and insights behind the scenes. People love behind the scenes. If you've got a dog that comes into the office, take a photo, take a video of the dog. Don't take yourself too seriously. Remember, the first bucket was entertain and inspire. Dogs, everybody loves them. That feeds into the entertain and inspire bucket. You don't always have to be talking about property and mortgages and finance. You just don't. People want real people. This is not about becoming an influencer, about becoming visible and trusted. 60-second content model. This is when you get your phone out and start thinking about what am I going to shoot. I want to ask you to be open to promoting yourself on video. And I know that's probably a little bit hard for some people to imagine because you never imagined that you'd be doing that. But unfortunately, the world's changed, and there's this thing called personal brand. And that's why LinkedIn's so successful, because it is all about your personal brand. And people buy things who they like and trust. And using LinkedIn allows you to jump into a window, a human connection window, to see what that person's like. And that's why LinkedIn business pages aren't that successful, because no one really cares. It's more corporate stuff. But the personal profiles is what people are buying. This is why LinkedIn is so good. So what I'm asking you to do is get over yourself and try and imagine yourself being in front of the camera and talking about one idea for 60 seconds. And be human. Don't worry about being perfect. And just use your phone only. Don't worry about the production. Start simple and build confidence. And that is really what I'm asking you to do. And I'm going to give you a very basic example. And I was probably talking a little bit fast in this video, but you'll see what I'm talking about. And when I do this, I always try and go and have trees around me because I'm a hippie in a businessman's body and I love nature. And I take my boys, I've got 2 boys, 7, 11. I take them out to nature. In fact, this is the big tree. Right behind me is the big tree. Let's see if it works.
How do we integrate a strong brand voice into better stories to cut through the... Hi there. I'm Simon Marmot. Covering your brand purpose. Taking business for a larger purpose. A business owner starts with a seed idea. This is how you build a relationship. Brand purpose works as a motivation. More value and nothing to employing your ring. That's it today, people.
So you see, guys, I try not to take myself too seriously, and you should also just relax a little bit. I can hear someone typing. Do you mind kind of muting, please? For a minute. Weekly content rhythm. 1 video, repurpose content, VA support, consistency creates familiarity. What I mean by that is, if you schedule time for yourself, Tony Robbins taught me, if you don't plan, you don't get. And Tony changed my life in many different ways. Write that down. If you don't plan, you don't get. Schedule some time in your diary for 1 or 2 hours a week, shoot some content, and then reuse that content and repurpose it everywhere. Do you have a VA? If not, get a VA. Get them to assist you with segmenting the database, creating emails, assisting you with your content, either editing it or sending it out or creating the caption. There's a whole bunch of things VAs can do. It took me a while to understand that, but since I started with the VA probably 6 years ago, don't look back. I've got 3 of them now. Trust, content, visibility, conversion. That is the system we're trying to create here. This is the engine. Like I said, you don't need more leads. You got to nurture the ones you got. Content builds trust. Trust drives deals, and visibility creates opportunity. LinkedIn basics: clear positioning, recent activity, proof. People check before replying. I would like to show you my LinkedIn page and kind of just take you through it quickly. But I'm in PowerPoint mode and it's a bit tricky. So what I'll do is I'll try and do that at the end, just so I don't upset the flow. And I'll point out a few things about what's important for your LinkedIn. I think that's really important. Someone please remind me if we get carried away with other things. So systemization, VA support, automation, consistency, remove yourself from repetitive work. This is really important, both from a mental health and mindset perspective, but also from a physical perspective. If you've got a system and the system's working, then you'll have more time to do the things you want. And I'm hoping ideally that's being on the phone with your customers and trying to take them down the funnel. I didn't say try and convert them because that's salesy, but I'm hoping you're on the phone with them, taking them down the funnel, and the whole business is taken care of because you've got a VA and you've got systemized and automation happening. So the VA model, administration, follow-up, posting, CRM, execution layer of the system. It's really important. And Filipino ones are really good. And they're very reasonably priced, and they're very smart and very nice. Hello?
I'm sorry, you haven't got the right link. You're on the Google Meet. You should be on this other one. I'm just going to send you the link now. So you should be on the Zoom meeting, not Google Meet. Sorry. So if you get into the Google Meet, I've just sent it in the chat thing for you.
Guy, do you mind muting yourself just while we keep going, please, buddy?
Yeah, sorry, mate.
That's all good. So yeah, I mean this VA model is really important for you to get right. And once you get a VA, I think you never go back really. I think it's one of those things. Automation. There's a whole bunch of things you can automate. Email, we've talked about SMS, CRM triggers, set once, runs continuously. I'll be the first to admit that setting up these things are, I won't say tricky, but they take a little bit of work to do the thinking around, okay, where is the user coming in? What are they expecting? What do we need to respond to? There's a whole bunch of different platforms. There's a HubSpot, and you're probably using a CRM as well. And I'm not going to be recommending any, but what I am saying is that use the tools you've got to create some automations and create a system. So you can get on with your life and your VA can manage what she's managing or what he's managing. So you can free yourself up for the work you want to do. The full system is lead, follow up, trust, conversion. Each step supports the next, break one, and the system fails. Is there someone else coming in, Guy? Can you let them in the room, or do I need to do that?
Give me a second. I think you've got to let them in. There's loads of people. There's about 20 odd people that are all trying to get in. They all went on the Google Meet instead.
Okay, let me check.
They went on Google Meet instead of Zoom, so I was trying to get them. But while I was going in between what you're doing and what they're doing.
Okay, they're all coming in now.
So I'm just trying to fix it. I think the time wasn't quite right on the calendar, and that's why I came in late as well, because I thought it was 45 minutes later, so you see. So,
wow. Okay.
Well, that's okay. We're recording it anyway, so
yeah,
we can share it back with everybody.
Hello
I'll try and email
hello to all the new people.
I'll mute myself.
Terry, Todd, David. Hello there.
Mate, how are ya?
Good. Nice to see you there, buddy. So it sounds like there was a bit of problems with the times or something, apparently.
Yep, we're all here now. Ready to
We're all here
rumble.
now. Okay, well we'll keep cracking on. We're kind of halfway through, or more than halfway through, but what we'll do is we'll kind of get through it, and then I'll go backwards a little bit, I think, and just kind of summarize a few points. Probably what we'll do. Let's jump straight back into it. Okay. So the full system is lead, follow up, trust, conversion. Each step supports the next, break one, and the system fails. So what for the new people, what we've been talking about here is you don't have a lead problem, you've got a system problem, and I said at the beginning, we all want new leads. Of course we do. And there are ways to get new leads, and I can help get leads. But today I just wanted to add value and help you understand the ways of the world around content, automation and systems, and what you can do to leverage the leads that you already have and the assets that you already have, like your database, and how to use them and create a system. That's what this has been about. So the weekly execution, we're up to this, is the daily follow-up, weekly content. Your VA runs the system, and this is the rhythm of growth. I'll go backwards a little bit. What I'm asking you guys to do is to get over yourself. And it was the same for me when I started shooting content. And most of you, if not all of you, have one of these bad boys. It's called a smartphone. I want you to use it. I want you to use it. I want you to think about one story once a week. Like I said before, Tony Robbins taught me, if you don't plan, you don't get. Put it in your diary and think about how can you solve one of your clients' problems. You've probably got 2 or 3 different segments. Think about those segments. Write it down. What are their challenges? What are their frustrations? What are they thinking of? What do they really want solved from you? And then create content around that. And then script it, do it in your head, get outside, get into an office with a plan, get a stand, don't get a stand. I've got a stand that I won't show you, and I've got a little lapel thing. And production doesn't have to be perfect. Just start talking to the camera and adding value. Do it for 60 seconds, and then you can edit it or not edit it, and then you can just start repurposing that all around the interweb. And that's really one of the main things I'm asking you to do today. I'm paraphrasing because I know some of you missed a few slides. There's a really important content slide coming up, so I'll talk about it when that happens. Why doesn't it happen? Is because there's no time. We're stuck reacting, not building. There's no structure. There's random effort. There's inconsistent results. There's no accountability. There's good intentions, but no execution. We're too reactive. We're always chasing the next lead. Most people aren't missing knowledge. They're missing a system that gets implemented. The gap. You know what to do. You've heard most of this before, but it's not happening consistently. You don't have a clear plan. You don't have a structure. You've got no follow through. Execution, it's not knowledge. The real problem is having a system and knowing what to do and when to do it. So what's the solution? There's not more leads, not more tools, not more random marketing. It's a simple structured system with clear steps, clear priorities, and consistent execution. The difference isn't knowing, it's having a system that actually gets implemented. So we've gone through 37 slides of the 47 slides, of the 47 slides. Unfortunately, the guys that just came in have missed a good part of the meat. And then I was going to talk about how I can help you to create a system. But I kind of feel like I should go back a few slides, because if I talk about how I can help and what I was going to suggest in terms of a cohort coaching group to help you guys create that system, I feel like it might be a little bit missed. So I'm going to apologize to everyone that has seen some slides already. I'm just going to go back a little bit just to create, to paraphrase, so to speak, so people can see the value. The brutal truth is you don't have a lead problem. You've got a conversion and system problem. People buy things from people that they trust and they like. Your current marketing is not broken. It's just not working. You're sending out generic email templates, set and forget systems. They're not creating conversations. They're not building trust. You want your leads turning up pre-sold. And we talked about already is going down this funnel. The top of the funnel, you want new leads coming at the top, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. You want your customers to go down that journey and feel like they're not being sold to. You don't have to entertain them, but you don't want to feel like you're coming across as a sales guy. So that's really important. And we do that through connecting emotionally and keeping it real and being human. You need a system that converts the ones you already have. And that's what this workshop's about. Where are the deals lost, slow response, weak follow-up, got no nurture programs, there's no differentiation, and most deals are lost in the first 48 hours. I'm going fast because I know half of you have already seen this. This is really key though, speed to lead. If you get a lead, pick up the phone and call them in 5 minutes or 15 minutes. But don't wait an hour and don't leave it till the next day, because the two competitors that they've also filled the form out, they're going to call them and they're going to get your business. Call them, SMS them. First wins, speed signals professionalism, speed builds trust instantly, speed beats your competition. This is the framework. Take a photograph of this. This is all you need to do. Call them on the first day. If you don't call them, SMS them and say, hey, I called you. I missed the call. I'll call you back on this afternoon. And when you say you're going to do something, do it. That builds rapport. That builds connection. Day 2, email them. Day 3, call them again. Day 5, check in. Have you filled in the form? How's your dog? Whatever it is. Day 10, nurture. Most people stop too early. They call once, maybe send one email, then they give up and they think the lead was bad and they literally wasted their money. Follow-up messaging principles: be human, ask questions. Curiosity beats pressure. Help, not sell. That's really important. Help, not sell. Create content that helps, not sells. Database reactivation. You've all got a database. Go in it, segment, work out what's meaningful, and then start messaging them, start emailing them, start having a conversation with them. No one knows what their sales cycle is going to be like. They don't know if they've got gone removed. They don't know if they're going to buy investment property. So the whole point of marketing 101 is to show up in a constant rhythm, consistent, constant rhythm. You can't be knee-jerk reaction. Oh, I haven't done anything, and then you do 3 pieces of content or a blog or a video, and then you don't do anything for another 6 months. That's not what the system is. That's not what I'm asking you to do. Simple check-ins. This is where most people overcomplicate it. Don't send long emails, boring syndicated emails that no one's going to read. Market update, sales pitch. Send short, human, relevant content that adds value to their life. Why emails fail? Generic, no personality. There's no call to action. What do we want them to think, feel, and do? Say it again. What do you want them to think, feel, and do? Especially the do bit. Are we asking them to jump into a meeting, like our Instagram page? What is it that we're asking them to do? Better email framework. Hook, insights, call to action. Make it about them, not you. Simple always wins. Don't try and be corporate or complicated. Make it about them. Too many times I see businesses talk about themselves the whole time. No one cares. They just don't care. They're just pushing them away. Solve problems for them. Be emotional. Then they'll care. 3 simple messages that you should take note of to just check in. Hey, just checking in. Not sure where things landed for you, but happy to help if you're still exploring options. Hi, Jesse. Quick one. Are you still looking at options at the moment, or has that been sorted? Hi, Jesse. I was reviewing a few things and thought your situation worth a quick chat if you're still open. The trust is the multiplier. Why social media is not working, inconsistent posting, no clear messaging. You're trying to look professional instead of keeping it real. Postings listing without context, you're not solving problems and there's no connection. No one cares. If you're just posting because someone tells you to post, don't waste your time. Post meaningful things regularly. I'd rather you post one thing every 2 weeks that's relevant, that's human, that solves a problem, than 2 things each week that's boring and no one cares. It's not about likes, it's about building trust at scale. It warms your database up before you speak to them. You want someone that's pre-sold. Like I was saying before, think about how you buy a car. In the old days, you go for 3 test drives, then you have a chat to the sales guy and you make a decision. These days, you do all the research online, you know what car you want, how much you're prepared to pay for, exactly the spec, and then you go for the test drive, and then you buy the car. People are doing the same thing online with you. Before they take a meeting with you, they're checking out your socials, they're checking out how you show up online, your website, your blogs, your emails, and then they go, I'm going to meet with this guy or this guy. And this is the world we're living in. Content makes your phone calls warmer and your emails land better. Content framework, here's some things you should be talking about. Your take on the market, not just data. Common mistakes you see, client scenarios, stories, simple tips and insights, and behind the scenes, human moments. People love that. Think about it. It's like this. Don't worry about trying to be an influencer. Just be visible, trusted, and just keep it real and get over yourself and get out there and start shooting. 60-second content model. One idea once a week. Put it in your diary. You don't plan, you don't get. Be human. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have super cool production. Weekly content rhythm. One video. Repurpose it everywhere. Get your VA involved. And that's the engine. Trust. Systemized. LinkedIn, if we have a chance, I'll show you my LinkedIn page, but there's some very important things to do on LinkedIn. The VO model, administration, helping you with CRM, automation, setting up triggers, and the full system is lead, follow-up, trust conversion. Each step supports the next. Break one and the system fails. I mean, that's really important. It's a shame I have to go through this stuff quickly. The weekly execution, daily follow-up, weekly content, VO runs the system. This is the rhythm of growth. And we got to here. So I can slow it down again now. So we talked about, you know what to do. You've heard much of this before, but it's not happening consistently. There's no clear plan. There's no structure. There's no follow through. Execution, not knowledge. Is the real problem. What's the solution? Not more leads, not more tools, not more random marketing. A simple structured system with clear steps, clear priorities, consistent execution. The difference isn't knowing; it's having a system that actually gets implemented. And that's where I come in to help you guys, to be a coach, to check in, to help guide you, give you and your VA or help you find a VA, a system that works where you can have a backbone, a foundation that receives the lead, automates responses, and you have meetings without you doing anything. They just land in your desk. That's really what you want. And you have time to do the things you want, which is hopefully being on the phone more selling or creating a connection rather. So the whole thought is for this session is to provide a taste, to provide some value, and then to help with you in an ongoing way. And we create this cohort. Why am I creating this group, or why am I wanting to create this group? And discussing with Guy, who's helped, get everyone here. It's all about adding value and helping you create that system. It's about accountability and things actually get done. It's a lot about, you said you were going to do this. Have you done it yet? It's like, when you go to the gym, if you go to the gym with someone, you're more likely to turn up. So you've got someone that you don't want to disappoint. That would be my role. What are you doing this week? Show me your work next week. The whole point of this is we'll have weekly sessions and check-ins. Show me your content, and we'll unpack it in front of everybody else, and then everyone learns from the questions that other people ask. Momentum, progress builds week by week. Shared learning, learn faster from others. Structure, clear focus, no overwhelm. You don't just learn this, you implement it with your VA or your new VA, and I welcome all the VAs in this chat, and I'll teach them as well. So where does this actually get solved? You don't need more information. You don't need more tools. You need a system that actually gets implemented. Most people stay stuck because they're trying to do it alone. There's no clear structure. There's no accountability. Execution keeps slipping. And they always say, oh, I'll get to that next week, and next week never comes. I do it myself. That's why I've got a coach. This is where I come in. Not another course. It's not more content. It's a way to build and run this properly with you. It's a done with you system. So instead of leaving this as good ideas, I've built a way to actually implement this together, not watch and forget another course, more theory. It's about structure, accountability, real execution, and week by week progress. And it's the things, like I said, the things you learn from other people's questions is what is really gold. Important that the right size matters. This only works if we get the right amount of people. It's quality over quantity. I don't want 30, 40, 400 people. I want 10 good people or 15 good people that are engaged. Not passive learning, not watch and forget. This is about real implementation. And we only run this if we get the right cohort. Like if we get 3 people, I'm probably not going to do it. I'll be honest with you. What you get, done with you. It's a systemize your growth engine. It's weekly live sessions. It's strategy and implementation. Clear action plans, what to do each week. VA guidance, how to execute without doing everything yourself. I'm going to give you everything I've got and everything I've learned over the last 35 years. Templates, scripts, no guessing. Tell you how to plug things in, tell you what not to do. Feedback and optimization, improve as you go. And again, it's not more information. It's a system that actually gets implemented. One of the most important slides, especially for the latecomers that didn't get the value at the beginning, and I'm sorry about the time challenges. I didn't know that it was showing up in different times with different diaries. But this is really key. Content is everything in your business. It's everything. And content can and should be repurposed everywhere. So what you want to do is create one piece of content and reuse it everywhere. If it's one blog post, it should go on LinkedIn, long form publishing. It should go on your blog. It should be sent to your email database. And then it should be cut up as social media just from one blog. Same with a video piece of content. And so how do we do it? We can't just talk about ourselves the whole time. We just can't, because people are going to leave the party. Imagine coming up to someone at a party and just talking about yourself. They're just going to go, oh my God, I got to get away from this guy, man. So how do we do it? We've got to create content in 3 buckets. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. This rule, this model still applies. So I've got old man eyes, so I've got to come right up close to this. So I've got another screen here, so I'm just going to read it out. But it's entertain and inspire, which is light disposable content, creating that sense of connection, inspiration that audiences love. Inform and educate, giving actual value to your customers, helping them with their journey. It could be tips and tricks, what to do, what not to do. And really, this is probably one of the most important pillars, because what you want to do here is rise above the competition and be the authority in your space. And when you help someone, they take one step closer to you. And when you're human and when you're emotionally connected, they take another step closer to you. So I say again, don't try and be a corporate wanker. Get over yourself, be real, and stay real. And just help. Have that mindset. And that'll change. That could change your world, if nothing else. I hope you get value from this one slide. Once you've done this job of entertain, inspire, and inform and educate, then and only then do you have a license to talk about your own business and promote your services. What it is you do, how you help businesses, customer video testimonials, Google 5-star reviews. I just sold this property for this customer. I won this award, innovation award, whatever it is. But you have to have this balanced conversation. And the reason I'm going on about this is you don't want to do 2 entertain me posts together, nor do you want to do 2 convince me posts together. You want to rinse and rotate. So if you're only going to post once a week, do an entertain and inspire post 1 week, do an inform and educate the next week, and then do a convince me post the next week, and then rinse and rotate and come back and do it again. Hopefully that makes sense. So the founding offer is $590 a month for the first 10 to 15 people only. Founding cohort pricing, it's a small group, it's direct access to me, it's hands-on support. This is the lowest this will be offered. Then it'll go to $690 a month, the next intake pricing, which will be a larger group, possibly less direct access, standard structure, and the founding group gets the advantage. The ROI, the finance could be one extra deal for 2 to 5 grand that pays for this, or real estate, it could be 15 to 20 grand. This pays for itself quickly. I'm hoping everything after is upside. It's based on what you already have. You don't need more leads. You need to convert more of what you already have. So the call to action, now remember, I already talked about what we want the customer to think, feel, and do. I'm going to make this up as I go. I want you to think that I'm a valuable resource and I have a wealth of information that I can help you scale your business. What I want you to feel, I want you to feel that I'm a trusted guy and I've got 39 references on LinkedIn. And I used to work for Saatchi and Saatchi Advertising and Time Magazine and the marketing director of Mamma Mia with Mia Freeman and startups at Kudo, fastest growing business in 2011. I'm social proofing to you now, and that's what I expect you to do with your customers, but not in this format. You don't just come out and say all of this. And what I want you to do is to express interest to me and say, you know what, I'd love to do that, Simon, or not. And I get a sense of numbers. And then if I get enough numbers, then I'll say, you know what, let's do this. Let's rock and roll. And what I do want to show you, I want to open up to a few questions, but I promised you that I would show you my LinkedIn page because this is a really important part of the journey for you guys. There's some really important things that I want to highlight. If I can get rid of this PowerPoint. Okay. All right, let me just reverse my screen quickly and I'll show you my LinkedIn page and I'll try and pull out a few things that you guys need to be aware of and that you should do for your own LinkedIn page. I'm going to go through this quickly, but I want to add some real value here because LinkedIn is your home. Like I said before, the reason LinkedIn is so powerful is because people buy people. People are not buying your business. This is why your business page on LinkedIn is probably nearly a waste of time. I'm not saying don't produce content and don't build it up. What I'm saying is people buy things from people that they like and trust. And the reason LinkedIn is so powerful is because you can literally feel someone's persona, someone's personality from their personal LinkedIn page. So here's a couple of things I'm going to point out to you that I want. I'm not showing off here. What I am talking is I want you to understand the pieces of their LinkedIn and then write it down and then go and do it for yourself. That's what I'm doing here. If we work together, I can help you with that, help you with your messaging and how you should do it. The header in the top is one of the most important pieces of real estate. Okay. Some of you may or may not have messaging there. I encourage you to get some very strategic messaging there. And I encourage you to think about, this is from a high level brand strategy perspective. What is it that your brand is all about? How are you positioning your business and how do you connect emotionally? And do you have one thought or one big idea that can help you outsmart versus outspend your competition? That's a big thing. That's a whole nother conversation. It's a whole nother workshop. But for me, it's about connecting emotionally and helping your brand outsmart versus outspend. And then so I create a bulletproof lead and marketing system. So have a messaging up here and connect emotionally. Look at me, I'm dancing. I'm not taking myself too seriously. I told you, no one wants to buy a corporate wanker. They're just not doing it. So I keep it real. When I'm in a meeting, the first thing I do is I show my little boy. Look how cute that little guy is. He's a bit older now, right? Why am I showing you that? Because I want to create trust quickly so you know that I'm a real guy. What I'm saying is get over yourself and just keep it real. I'll go back to my LinkedIn page here. This is really key, okay? No one wants to work with the CEO of Wankers Association Limited, okay? They're just not doing that. What I want you to think about is what value you add, what is the problem you're solving, and then work out and go back from there. What is your title. Okay. So what am I? I'm a fractional CMO. I'm a business transformation guy. That's what I do. Right. I'm not the managing director. It's just, who cares? What value is that to me? I'm turning inconsistent leads and sales into consistently booked months without wasting budget, ads, content, word of mouth, and AI. That's what I do. Okay. You go back now and have a look at the way you're coming across, and I suggest you should change it because I'm pretty sure it's not what I'm asking you to be or where I'm asking you to go. Think about the problem you're solving and then work back from there. So over the last probably 6 years, I've grown my followers from about 3,000 to 4,000 followers to nearly 19,000 followers because I run LinkedIn outreach. What's really important, the next one is a lot of people, they've got a couple of words on their about section. This is the most important part of your LinkedIn. What I suggest you do is go back and review it and rewrite it. And what I also suggest is people scan. They can't just scan a whole bunch of content together. But what they can do is they can look at capitals and subheadings. Okay, so you see what I've done, what I do, strategy and execution, how do I do it, what makes me different, who I work with, what are the next steps, strong call to action, boom, boom, boom. I expect you guys to do the same thing. Really, if you take anything from this, is the header, design it, write it, create emotional connection, your position, your title, get over yourself, and then rewrite your about section with some headings. This is really important. You can feature some of your best things. So this is Ben Levi. He's done a reference for me. I've got 39 references. Here they are here. If I always point to this, I've built this up over 25 years. If people want to get to know and trust me, they can, and I point them to here. You can get 3 people to lie for you. You can't get 39 people to lie for you. Ben says, Simon is brilliant, quirky, asks the difficult questions, and really pushed us to reshape the way we think about our own brand and business. Working with Simon resulted in increased addressable market, increased repeat attendance, and simply made us more inspired and a better business. What I'm suggesting to you is go over your last 20 years of your life, depending on how old you are. I can do that because I'm 58. And think about all the relationships you've got and all the friends you've got in business and tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, I'm working with this marketing guy, whether you are or not, it's irrelevant. And he's encouraging me to upweight my digital profile, including my LinkedIn. Can you do a favor for me? I'll say that again. Can you do a favor for me? Humans want to do favors for other humans. He's going to go, sure. What can I do for you? It's like, do you mind doing a LinkedIn reference for me? Sure, no problem. Send him the link, get it done. So this stuff up here is very important because you can have testimonials, you can have video content, you can have stories, case studies. People see that. So I've got client testimonials up here, the whole thing. I've got some projects and websites that I've built. And then this is the feed. This is the content. This is really important. So this is today's session here that I've got. So when I make a post now, I get a reasonable amount of comments and likes. This is some business cards, some branding that I've done. This is the sort of content that I show up. This is the 3 buckets of content. See, I'm trying to have a little bit of a laugh here. Here I am doing with my Albert Einstein guy. You know, just trying to keep it real. Every second when I do like a tile, then every second when I do a photo or a video. So I've got a system. So going down the page, and then we'll come back to the PowerPoint. This is important. You've got to get your story right with your business here. So again, the title, and then run through with the subheadings, and then all the way down to getting as many references as possible. So I'm gonna stop sharing now. I feel like I've been talking for an hour. Well, I have. And let's see if we've got any questions. I know I've been going hard. And there's still 2 people in the waiting room. Well, they've missed out. Sorry about that. I'm exhausted. Anyone have any questions? Do you think I'm handsome?
You're not my type, but you know, you'll do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, I can.
No, I think it was really good. I don't know what the mix-up was. I think that what happened was we had it at 11:45, not quarter to 11 on the calendar, and I think people went into a Google Meet instead of a Zoom. So if we did one again, we just have to just cut the Google Meet out of the equation altogether and just have the Zoom link on its own. But
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
we recorded it anyway, so
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Well, I
We
can,
can just email it
especially
to
for the
everybody.
new people that came in, a big apologies. I'm Simon. Nice to meet you. We can email that to you for sure, and then from there, happy to take any calls and try and solve some of your queries. Does anyone on the call have any questions? Did any of that resonate with you? Did you learn anything? Are you excited, or was it all stuff you already know?
Reiterating what we already know and already should be doing, but currently not. In all honesty, so yeah, good wake up call.
Yeah, nice. And I think that's part of what I wanted to do here is just lift up the bonnet and just go in hard and try and teach you guys as much as I can. I had to pull myself back because there's so much happening up here. And like when I started talking about brand strategy and big ideas, I could talk all day long just on that topic alone. And I had to just calm down, Simon, one step at a time. So that's great feedback, Todd. Thank you for that. I mean, the whole premise is that you guys are doing things and there's no system and you know you're supposed to be doing things. I believe that everything we talked about here is stuff that you already know. It's about showing you and reminding you and then keeping you honest, really, and getting you to do the work.
Mm. No,
Thank you very
I
much.
think it's good. I think it's really good. I think getting an understanding of how you can do a bit of consultancy with each person would be a good idea because you're probably limited on time and stuff, whether or not you want to do group sessions or not. I don't know. What's your preference, Simon? Like if people are interested in working with you, do you want to work with them individually or can you work with
Yeah,
them
look,
as a group?
I'm open to anything. I'm mindful, AD, that you asked a question. We'll get back to you in a sec. I mean, I'm open to it. I mean, I think, look, I'm an easygoing guy, right? I mean, as you know, Guy, these guys they don't know me, but probably the way I talk, hopefully you get a feeling that I'm relatively easygoing guy. So, I mean, look, if you guys wanted to jump into the cohort, what I think I'm prepared to do as a sweetener is to have an hour session with each one individually and try and crack the back of their personalized strategy and help them where I can with a big idea or with whatever they have from problems. Even an hour and a half session, whatever it takes, and then from there, at least I got to know their problems, and so when we're having our regular catch ups, we can, you know, go from there and I'll understand more of their business. If we don't think collectively that creating a cohort is a good idea, I'm okay with that too. I was just thinking, how do we create value in a kind of a coaching framework system? Because I'm in a framework coaching system, and a lot of the time I turn up to these sessions each week. I don't even have any questions. I just listen to everybody else, and I learn so much. And I've been doing this for 35 years, right? And so I think having the other people asking questions and drilling down into, okay, let's help you unpack that and let's pack it up for you, people will learn from that. And that's why I thought the cohort, the coaching, weekly coaching sessions might be a good idea. But to answer your question, Guy, I'm open. If people don't think it's a good idea and they want to do, one-on-ones, that's okay too. We just need to work out what that structure looks like.
Okay, cool.
Adi, do you want to ask your
No,
question?
that's all right. I was just going to say thank you so much for the session. It was really good. I need to jump out now.
Nice one, Adi. Thanks so much for
Thank you.
joining.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. See you later. And anyone else that was on the call for most of the time, did you guys get any value from that?
I came in late because I thought it was, I didn't realize it was anyone else but Guy speaking. I need to see the whole thing.
Yes, sorry about
I came
that,
in quarter
David.
to 12. That's when the invitation was for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have recorded it, so we can
Yeah.
send it. We put it on YouTube and then send it out to everybody anyway. I'd like 180 people were interested, and then I think we ended up with about 22 that could actually come at the time.
Mm.
And then for whatever reason, it's got mixed up. But I'll send it to absolutely everybody anyway
Okay.
to make sure.
Thanks, Guy. Thanks very much, Simon. I need to get up.
All right, David, take it
Thank
easy.
you.
Nice to meet you,
Cheers,
mate.
Dave.
So,
Yeah, Simon, nice to meet you as well, mate. I'm going to bounce as well. Guy, I'll speak to you soon, buddy.
nice one,
All
Todd.
right, mate.
Thanks for your energy,
No
man.
worries,
Appreciate
Todd.
it.
All
Cheers,
right,
mate.
Simon, take it easy, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Todd.
you.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, Darius is still here. Look, what I'll do is I'll just leave it with you. I'll send the video link to you in the cloud, and then you can send it to everyone. And then,
Yeah.
from there, you can let me know if people have a sense of they want to do a cohort or they want some individual things or nothing at all. That's all good too. I've got stuff on. Life goes on. Phil sent his email address here, but I don't need that because you've got all their details anyway, right? So
yeah, I've got everybody's details. I'll send it to everybody. I'll upload it onto YouTube. I'll send it to absolutely everybody, and then I think maybe to do like a bit of an assessment with each person and see what they want, because they are getting some people have got databases, some people haven't, some people have got leads coming in off me, and there's a bit of a disconnect there. And I think that if you do a bit of have a session with them and have a chat and then find out where they're maybe dropping the ball with stuff and then go from there and try and work something out with them, because as I say, I don't want to generate all these leads and build this database up and give it to them and then it's not getting used. You know what I mean? Like it's just sitting there not doing anything or whatever. You know what I mean? So we need to look into that in more detail. And it's whether or not they want that service or not. I think hopefully they want that service and see the value in it. I mean, I know from my own point of view, everything you mentioned in that is stuff I know to do a lot of it myself because I've worked in sales and marketing for a long time. But if they're not in that world or from that world, like say, for example, a lot of mortgage brokers aren't from that world, and they need that system. That's my opinion.
Right. Exactly right. I mean, and even if you're not in this industry, most businesses need the same system.
Yeah.
All right. Well, mate, thanks for organising. So good that we got through it, and sorry to the people that got the wrong time or the wrong link. Sorry about that, Darius. And
all right, well, we'll send it out to everybody. It'll be all right. It'll be fine.
I'll send
it's just one of those things.
I'll send you that link, and I'll get on with my life. And then if you or somebody wants to come back to me and talk to me, we'll have that chat and go from there.
I'll line them up for you. Okay, mate?
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.
Bye.